and welcome back to Cat Yoga Part 2. I'm Carlos, that is Baby Monster. And let's see, where are we? Ready for our balance, second balance. We're all hydrated and hydrated and rested and ready to go. So come into a 5-point star. Stars are also lunar in their aspect. Relax here, feel very stable. So we're going to do, we have many half moon balances, and this one is the revolved or the reverse half moon or the dark side of the moon. So this is the one that we don't do hardly ever. So I'm going to actually widen my stance a little bit more. I'll walk you through this. This is a chance to grab a chair or go to the wall, or just I'll walk you through this nice. We'll go through it nice and slow. Do as much or as little as you want. So I'm going to turn both feet to one side. And our first cheat is to bend this knee so that we're not going to try to cartwheel. Second cheat is we come around and then bring this hand to your hip. And then we're going to, again, we're not cartwheeling. We're going to slowly bring that hand down. Not necessarily in line with both feet, but to this direction out. So this gives me a more stable base. Take your time getting down here. Okay, when you feel stable, you can press up. Okay, when you feel stable, you can bring this arm up. If you really feel stable, you can look up at this hand. And that is our revolved or reverse half moon balance. Okay, so to come up, I'm just going to bring both hands down, re-bend that leg, and then just press up. All right, great. Other side's basically the same thing. Turn both feet to the other side, look in this direction. We can rotate around because we know where we're going. This hand drops to the hip, this knee bends. I'm going to bring this arm down. If it's directly in line, you can be very tippy from side to side. So I'm going to come over here, put a lot of weight in this hand, then press up. Okay, this arm comes up. And then finally look up at your arm. Something like that. And in this case, both arms come down, bend the knee. You can just push yourself back up. Baby's not participating. And so to come into center, before we come into center, pull your arms back, open your chest and shoulders. Come in. Uh-oh, I was just about to jump in. Can't jump in now. So I'm going to walk in the way I'm always suggesting. That's one of your options, so I don't step on my own cat. All right, wonderful. Okay, so that's pretty much it for our balances and our standing poses. So let's come into a hanging forward bend. Look at this poor neglected cat. Aw. Oops. That's a disaster. She didn't even notice. All of her treats. Oh no. This is like a month's worth of treats. Oh no. Boy, this is like when Barb's here. She gets a whole month of treats in like 5 minutes. Okay, so hanging forward bend. Well, that's fine with her. Wow.
Yeah, you remember Barb, right? It's like when Barb's here. Spoiling you rotten. Okay, walk your hands out to downward facing dog. So we could do, we could raise our leg, which is dedicated to the goddess Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth and prosperity and beauty, and she's not super formidable, but she's known for being very goal-oriented, which may be the reason why this pointy leg, why that ascribes the pose to her. The other possibility is that she's known to dwell in a conch shell, so this might look more like a big conch shell. We don't really know. So how about one more breath? And then lower that leg. Look, there's still crumbs here, baby. Eat those little crumbs. Come on. That's good, girl. Other leg when you're ready. Check your grip before you take one leg away. How about one more breath here? Come back down. Can you guys hear her purring? Can you hear that? Let's see. What's next? Let us do... let's do our crescent moon pose. So step one of your feet through up to lunge. Briefly. Uh-oh, here we go. And then we'll come down, we'll drop the knee down, work our way into our crescent moon pose. Remember, you guys, that bringing your hands to your heart is sufficient for the crescent moon pose. Most of the old books on Hatha Yoga just show this pose right here, right? But some of you feel the need to bring the arms overhead, to lace your fingers, to point your index fingers, to look up, arch your back, and pull your hands back. You don't have to do this. How about one more breath up here? Lower your gaze. Just look forward. To keep your stability, bring your hands to your heart. Get stable here. Hands back down to the mat. And then we'll curl the back toes under, come up to lunge again. And step that foot back. Oops, little stretch in your downward facing dog. Can you guys hear this cat? She's just purring so much. So then for the other side, when you're ready, step the foot forward. Lunge first, and then knee down, flatten the foot. And then, so press the foot and the leg into the mat, and then that gives you stability. Your hands should leap to your heart, and then stay here. If you stay here, push your hips forward. You get a good stretch in the hip flexor, and then otherwise come up to here. And try to relax. How about one more breath here? Lower your gaze, lower your hands, hands back down. Curl the toes under to come to lunge, and then back to downward dog. Doesn't really like Banu's brush, but better than nothing. One more good stretch here. So I mentioned earlier that this set has some more young or challenging versions of the pose. So we'll try our side star. And this is the only set where we do the really high version of the side star. So it's up to you. You don't have to do it, but this would be the only set where I would demonstrate it. And you don't know what I'm talking about. We're going to drop down to a plank and then a side plank. And right here you start to modify if you don't like your side plank. And then, so our side star is the one where we bring the leg up to here. Mine's not very good, but at least you see what I'm trying to do here. So we'll try the other side. I'm not going to turn away from you. I'll come over here. Get here. And then here. So you know your variations because we've done them in the other set. You'd be down, lower. You'd be down on your elbows and knees. All right, that's our side star. And then let's say, why don't we do Shakti Asana just to rest after that. So all the way down, hug your knees, bring the legs in a diamond shape. The soles of the feet are pressed together. Let gravity draw your knees down, opening the hips. One hand on your belly to feel your breathing, one hand on your heart to feel your heart beating. And this is not our final meditation. It's just a nice little rest. Okay, so hopefully your heart rate dropped back down somewhat. Close your legs, hug your knees, and then let's see. So we're by no means done. Let us roll over into child pose. And then we'll go right into our rabbit pose. But remember, I have these nice cushy mats and you don't. So you need to make a little cushion for your head, or maybe if you're near, if you can just grab a cushion off of a chair. I'm serious, because otherwise you won't like this pose. Put it under your head, roll forward under the crown point of your head, curl your toes under. 3 variations of this. The classic is holding your heels. And then another version would be to walk your knees away from you and hold your ankles. Seems like everyone's favorite is make the giant bunny ears. So we only want to hold this, we want to hold this pose long enough for the shoulders to relax and loosen up a little bit. Because at first, if you're like me, they don't really like this. But once you realize that it's not really harmful to your shoulders, they loosen up. And we'll release. Oh, what is she doing over there? Come back, baby. Come here. See, she responds to bribery. How about one of those? That's a big one. All right, so let's do our side pose of the evening. This will be our half moon movement, reminiscent of the half moon pose that we did before, but we're down here on our elbow and one knee. The other leg is long. When you bend the knee, resist the urge to pull this up because we're not going into a fetal position. We want the spine to be nice and long. So as I mentioned, the lunar poses have this two-dimensional aspect. So imagine that you're sort of sandwiched between 2 panes of glass here, and then inhale up and over. So this is, you can't really see it, but I'm coming up higher than my side plank. The side plank would be here. I'm coming up to here. It's a little difference, but it makes a big deal. Okay, so the reason why it makes a difference is because this is really our only side stretch in this set. So you want to make sure you really feel that. You'll feel it right now. Hyperextend up, pull this arm over so you get this stretch here. I'm holding here. Let's, why don't we come down to rest for a breath, and then come back up and we will actually make sure you got your side stretch, and then we can come into our half moon balance from here. Okay. Remember, we were wrapped around the other way, but this is our half moon balance. All right, and then just so that we're clear, your variations on that side star would be, one of them would be like this, and then the other one, our favorite, is just down here, right? So, but that's for another set. So let's come around, do the other side. Can you hear this cat? Actually, she's getting a little more playful now. Can't hear her purring too much. So commence these. Inhale up, exhale down. Make sure you're getting your side stretch. This will be our maybe next to last chance. So hyperextend up. And then the next time up, we'll do our half moon balance. How about one more breath here? And then come down. So, lay back. Not done yet. We will do a bridge, and then we'll do the wheel, optional wheel. So you can do the bridge twice, or do the bridge and then the wheel. So the bridge is the one where we're going to come up, but we're not going to plank up. So we're going to roll up through the spine. So draw the abs down. See how the pelvis tips up, and then start peeling the spine up off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Take your time. Hold this down if you need to. All right. Great. Couple of things you can do once you're up here is join your hands underneath your back, tuck your shoulders under, maybe walk your feet away from you. We won't do our leg raises because that's for a different set. I'm going to bring my feet back towards me, come up as high as I can, and then I'm going to come down slowly, slowly, slowly. Feel the spine come back into contact with the earth, one vertebra at a time. So now, if you can do the wheel, you'll do the wheel. If you're working on the wheel like me, you can do a really weird half wheel. And if you want no part of it, do another bridge. Okay, so my weird intermediate half wheel is with the fingers pointed back at me, right? And the elbows up. And I'm kind of walking my feet in a little closer. And then I'm just going to come up. And I can only get up to here. But you guys can do your full wheel. How about one more breath? Whatever you're doing. Come back down. If I just practice that more, I can get it. Luckily, the comments are disabled. Otherwise, all the high-powered yogis would tell me what a joke that was. But, you know, we do the best we can. So, we're really close to the end of the set. And as I promised, I need a sip of water. As I promised, we'll end the way we started, going into our monkey twist. So, arms out to the sides, knees to one side, head to the other. And slowly twist to the other side. Come back to center. Okay. Prepare for our final cat meditation. Hug your knees to your chest, releasing any leftover tension. You can roll around. It's more comfortable for me here on these nice thick mats than it is for you at home on your little skinny yoga mat. But this feels really good for me. And anyway, whenever you're ready, take your last breath and collapse into your corpse pose and go into your favorite meditation. And take a deep, reawakening breath since the moon is full. Roll to the side that you don't normally roll onto. Come into a fetal position. Support your head. Take a few more breaths here. And slowly come up to sitting. So the regulars know that when the moon's full, we do a little oming. So for me, instead of sitting cross-legged, I'll sit with my legs like this, keeps my diaphragm open. Same thing, we'll use our Dhyana Mudra. Maybe take a sip of water. We're just going to do 3 ohms. Take some breaths here. I might try some vocal harmonics. It's no big deal. About one more breath and then we'll start. We'll just do 3. Maybe a couple more. Best 2 out of 3. And I'll close with a quote from Sai Baba, who said, "Communion with the divine, that is the true purpose of yoga. Namaste." Thank you so much for joining me. And what was I going to tell you? Something. Oh yeah, that vocal harmonics, I've got a short MP3 file that is instructional on how to do that. It's real fun. It's supposed to be good for your sinuses. And if you're receiving my emails, just reply, ask me for it. I can attach it and shoot it right back to you. And it's really neat. Otherwise, thanks for being a good sport and trying new things. And we will see you next time.